Overton Park is one of our great parks in Memphis, Tennessee, formed in the early 1900s by the Memphis Park Commission, just when the city had just expanded out here in 1899. And as it grew over the years, other features came in, the golf course, the Brooks Memorial Art Gallery. In 1936, the Overton Park Shell was built for $11,000. It had about 3,200 seats. It was bench seating here. One of 27 shells built around the country like this by the Works Progress Administration in the 1930s, just by the federal government helping getting our country out of the Depression. We had many Works Progress Administration projects in Memphis like Crump Stadium, and the bridges at Overton Park you see over Lick Creek are WPA projects there. It became the Memphis Open Air Theater from 1938 to 1951, and the orchestra played here with many performances. And on July 30th, 1954, Elvis Presley made his first stage appearance out here, opening for Slim Whitman at that time. And of course, Slim Whitman, when he got on stage, nobody wanted to listen to him. So the next time he came to town, he said he'll never follow Elvis Presley because they didn't want to hear Slim Whitman. The Shell prospered through the middle of the century. In the 1970s and early 80s, I was the director here for 4 years with the Memphis Park Commission as part of the summer program. It was the Arts in the Park program, where we had a lot of community events here on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. The Memphis Federation of Musicians performed here, provided concerts of all kinds, community groups. And then the Mud Island Amphitheater opened in 1982, and some of those events went there. In fact, in the 1970s, you had performers like Seals and Crofts play here, and there's 15,000 people around, you know, so there's a need to expand our outdoor amphitheater program. So Mud Island Amphitheater got built. Shell kind of started falling into bad repair. The city wanted to tear it down and make this a parking lot for Memphis Brooks, expanding Memphis Brooks, which expanded 3 times during that time period. But citizens to preserve our shell formed and saved the shell for about 15 years. And then in 2008, the Mortimer Levitt Foundation actually came through and restored the shell. Took the bench seating up as you see here. You can see some of the walls on each side of the stage there down, the old concrete legs, I guess you say, that the bench seating wood slats sat on are actually readapted and made into the walls down there stacked up. That's kind of neat. But the Shell now prospers with 50 free concerts a year, and the Mortimer Levitt Foundation's done a terrific job with that. One other little unusual story about the Overton Park Shell, back in 1982, there was a movement around the country for Raoul Wallenberg. He was a Swedish diplomat, a Lutheran, who actually saved lives of over 100,000 Jewish people in Europe during the Holocaust. And there was a great movement at that time in the 1980s in our country to recognize that, and one of the ways we thought we could save the shell, if we attached the name Raoul Wallenberg to it, it's called the Wallenberg Shell for a while, that might find some more funding to help save it, but then that did not materialize. Citizens to Preserve Our Shell came in, and then of course Levitt Shell, Levitt Foundation. So that's kind of the history of how we've made it the last 40 years with the Overton Park Shell, Levitt Shell.